Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Urich, APTA Minnesota Chapter President. Unfortunately, the PT Compact Bill did not get a hearing before the committee deadline this year, so it has not been moved forward. It will remain under consideration for 2024. 6 compact bills were introduced this session, including ours, and none were heard in either the House or the Senate this session. Thanks again to all of those who attended PT Day on the Hill, those who contacted their legislators otherwise, and those who donated to the Minnesota PT PAC. Our State Government Affairs Committee is working hard to see if they can still get something done this session. They're looking at an amendment to another bill that would bring back remote observation for PTAs, as this was the case during our domestic emergency. We found that it was safe and efficient and still offered the statutorial observation. Again, it's difficult to pass any bill in Minnesota during a budget year, but we're continuing to look into what we can do. At the very least, we're keeping conversations going about physical therapy at the Capitol. APTA Minnesota usually hosts our annual business meeting at the annual conference, but this year we'll be holding it virtually instead. We're purposely delaying this meeting until after our proposed bylaws changes are completed so we can vote on them. We're still waiting for the model bylaws from APTA National. More on this to come. Some changes in bylaws at the national level were made at the 2021 House of Delegates that are now being implemented at the state level. The PTA caucus is transitioning to a PTA council, and the student assembly is transitioning to a student council. These charts that I have pulled up here, both for PTA and student, help to explain how these groups are organized, but I included links to videos below if you want to understand these transitions more in depth. The APTA Minnesota PTA Council and Student Council representatives will be announced at the annual conference on April 15th. Speaking of conference, Secure Care will be there this year. Blue Cross Blue Shield has chosen to work with Secure Care to manage costs, and I know this has affected a lot of PT practices in Minnesota. Having them present will allow members to share their questions and concerns directly with Secure Care. Overall, as a profession, we need to look at our own value proposition to our patients and payers. The more we can promote access to care, eliminate outliers in practice, and provide patients and payers with value, we can decrease need for utilization management review. APTA Minnesota is committed to working toward this through collaboration with members and payers. APTA Minnesota provides a scholarship for 3 students to attend PT Day on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. each year. I was lucky enough to receive this scholarship as a second-year student, and it really jump-started my APTA involvement. This event is July 24th and 25th this year, and applications are due April 15th. Some other events coming up are the annual conference on Saturday, April 15th, the APTA Minnesota 5K, which will be in Maple Grove on Saturday, September 9th, and save the date for the Payer Summit on Friday, October 27th. To wrap up the President's message this month, I'm going to end with the committee feature again, and this month's feature is the APTA Minnesota Membership Committee, co-chaired by Corinne Meisel and Josh Tanner. After reviewing the APTA Minnesota 2023 through 2025 strategic plan, the membership committee decided to take a slightly different direction. Their reimagined purpose is to be the face of APTA Minnesota at all of our events. Their goal is to have at least one membership committee representative at each APTA Minnesota event, whether it's in person or virtual. They might do a mini presentation about membership at the event, or might just be present to answer questions people have. They'll be at the APTA Minnesota booth at annual conference on April 15th, trying to find people for micro volunteer opportunities within the chapter.